For decades, motorcycle manufacturers like Triumph, Honda, Ducati, and even Harley-Davidson have sold models with high scrambler pipes, with varying degrees of success. Now British icons Brough, Superior and Norton have stepped into the high-pipe space, and what's on offer is nothing short of stunning, if the concepts we've seen make it into production in 2018 or 19 as reported. Advertising and invented by Teeds, Brough Superior was considered the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, producing approximately 3,048 bikes between 1919 and 1940. The brand was rejuvenated recently, with a modern SS100 going into production in 2016. Now the wraps have come off the pending Sand Racer, which could be yours for roughly $77,000, similarly priced as the Archmoto KR GT1. Production is slated to begin in late 2018. Specifications: engine water-cooled, 997cc, DOHC, 88-degree, V-twin 4-stroke 6-speed with 4 valves per cylinder, and composite chain gear cam drive, power 100 horsepower at 9,800 revolutions per minute, Euro 4 fuel ignition system, electronic fuel injection with Synerject AQ and 2x50mm Synerject throttle bodies, each with a single injector clutch, multiplate oil bath with hydraulic operation, chassis machined titanium frame with titanium subframe, front suspension Fior type aluminum casting fork with twin articulated triangular titanium links and preload and rebound adjustable monoshock with 120mm travel, rear suspension CNC machined swing arm pivoting and engine crankcases with preload and rebound adjustable monoshock, direct link with 130mm travel head, angle trail 23.4 degrees with 94mm trail via 38mm fork, offset wheelbase 60.6 in. Dry weight 432 pound. Brakes front, 2 320mm Behringer stainless steel rotors with 2 4-piston Behringer radial calipers, rear, 230mm Behringer stainless steel rotor with 2-piston Behringer caliper, ABS Continental MK2 Canal 100 MIB wheels, tires front, 12070R19 tire on 3.50 inches. CNC forged aluminum wheel, rear, 17060R17 tire on 4.50 inches. CNC forged aluminum wheel, seat height 32.3 in. Price $77,000. While the Brough Superior pending Sand Racer was unveiled at EICMA recently, reports of the Norton 650 Urban Tracker have been based off concept art, with the Husqvarna Savarit-Pylon-esque aesthetic. That unto itself is reason to start squirreling away some dough, and the target price point of $13,000 makes it a reality for more adventure seekers with a penchant for British marques like Norton. According to Norton's head of design Simon Skinner, the Scrambler platform was just a matter of time for the company, which dates back to the 1890s. It started off life as half of the V4, Skinner said in a recent interview. We always knew we wanted to do a 650cc parallel twin to create a new range of bikes with a retro engine platform, and a high-performance platform, and a high-volume platform. And that would cover everything we want to do for the foreseeable future as a brand. The first bike the 650 will appear in is a Scrambler-type bike. The engine has been designed to have 3 power levels, with the top-end high-spec 175 horsepower supercharged version, then a normally aspirated high-performance version at 100 horsepower, then a low-powered one with just under 70 horsepower. It's the same core 650cc parallel twin engine with a 270-degree crank, which give a nice drive characteristic, a nice sound, and a nice vibe, and matches the firing order of the Commando engine. From the archives building the perfect Norton motorcycle, the Featherlastic. Because Norton is a bed sounds like a mattress, it will use a steel trellis frame with some aluminum bolts and sections to give it more rigidity and stiffness, Skinner explained. It still needs to be a lightweight bike, and a Norton, but I looked back at what Norton used to do with P11s and other models back in the day, and the performance was always a step up from the competition, and that's our goal. It needs to be a proper scrambler, not something that just looks the part. It needs to be capable, and it should be a proper giggle. This is about rideability, not trying to make an adventure tour. It's not going to be a cheap bike, but you've got to be able to ride it through mud, bash it about, drop it, and pick it up and carry on. It's got to be a pure and honest bike that can do what it looks like it's capable of doing. The chassis and geometry is all our own. The more off-road focused version will get a longer swing arm for more capability off-road. We're certainly intended to offer both versions from birth, a street scrambler version, then a more off-road capable desert racer. The rears will be 17 inches on both models, and the more road-biased bike will get an 18-inch front, while the more off-road biased one will get a 19-inch. It needs to be a proper scrambler, not something that just looks the part. It needs to be capable, and it should be a proper giggle. This is about rideability, not trying to make an adventure tour. The tricky part is getting the styling right. I looked back through the old Norton models, and penned some designs with a lot of those traditional styling cues, and they just don't look right on this. The hard part is paying homage to the heritage without being old-fashioned or retro. It's got to be an authentic Norton, but it's got to be modern. According to Norton CEO Stuart Garner, the company is targeting a $13,000 price tag for its base model and a few grand more for the higher spec version. Power is expected to be in the 100 horsepower neighborhood. This is an everyday Norton, Garner said. It's honest and faithful, and the sort of bike I'd use as an all-year-round ride. You can imagine someone buying the Norton V4, then having this as their everyday bike, with switchable abs and traction control, and that's what it's for. And if this bike is a success, it'll enable us to build a 650cc sports bike, hopefully within a year of the Scrambler going on sale.